Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make the wave stitch beanie. And in the previous tutorials, I taught you how to do the wave stitch slouch hat, the fingerless gloves, and the scarf. And this was requested by one of my viewers, and she asked for a beanie. So I've been working on it, and I figured out the pattern in 3 different sizes for babies, size 3 months to a year, toddler to child size, which is 2 to 10-ish years old, and teen to adult size, which is the size I'll be making on video today, is the teen and adult size. But I'll be stopping periodically whenever I get to I'll tell you when you're done increasing for the baby size, and then to just go ahead and move to the stitch portion of the tutorial. So you're going to need 2 colors if you want to make one like this, but you can make the whole thing in 1 color. This is for my son. So I just made it all blue for him, and for my daughter she requested pink and purple as usual, and I wanted to make a baby size, so I just picked my own colors for this. So anyway, I used worst weight yarn, which is 4-ply for the US and 10-ply for Australia. And I also used a 5mm hook or a size H hook for the US. But you can make one whole hat with just 1 skein. So that's it. Go ahead and grab your yarn and your hook, and also don't forget to grab a stitch marker. You're probably going to use that later on. And we'll get started. Okay, I wanted to go over the color pattern with you real quick in case you wanted to do one like this where you're alternating the colors. Now you want to do a change every 2 rows. It works out perfectly for the toddler child size because you only do 4 increased rows, so you can do the first 2 increased rows in one color and the next 2 increased rows with the other color, and then when you're ready to start the hat portion you just change over and you just continue every 2 rows. Keep in mind whatever color you use on the very top of the hat will become the color that is your border. So if you want your border to be a dark color, then use your darker color on the top. Now that's the toddler. For the baby size, it's 1 less. So I went ahead and I just did my first 2 rows with the same color. But if you want, you could start off by just doing like the pink here, and then the next 2 rows doing white, and then doing I think that might look a little better. And also the color that you use here will be the rim as well. Now I haven't made the adult size, but I'm going to do that now. But keeping in mind how many increase rows that you do, it'll actually have 1 more than the toddler hat. So you may want to start off by doing 1 color in the beginning row and then change for the next 2 rows, and then the next 2 rows you can do the colors like that, or you can do the first 3 rows of 1 color, then switch to the next color and do the next 2 rows, and then the hat portion. So it's up to you how you wish to color it. But I'm pretty sure whatever color you use at the top will again probably be your border, but I can't tell you for sure because I haven't made it yet. Okay, to begin, you want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you want to slip stitch in the beginning chain. Then you want to chain 2, and now working in this ring here, you want to put 11 double crochets worked into that ring. So go ahead and work your 11 double crochets into this. The chain 2 at the beginning will count as a stitch, so at the end you'll have a total of 12 stitches. Okay, when you get done with the end of the row, you want to find the top of your beginning chain 2 and slip stitch. Now I want to go ahead and switch my color here. I'm going to go ahead and leave the color attached since I'm going to keep using it, so I don't have a bunch of tails and stuff to work in later on. But this one you want to leave kind of a tail because you're going to be working in this tail later on. So I'm just folding my color in half like this. It's kind of bendy, and I'm just going to use this as my loop. So I'm going to stick my hook through my existing loop, and I'm just going to pull this in, my new color, into the loop, and then pull your original loop tighter, and then pull your color down to tighten that loop. And you can keep pulling on them until you get it good. Then you want to pick up your new color and start working with it. Now, like I said, it's best to hide this with a tapestry needle so I'm not working over my tail. Now you want to begin this row, even if you didn't change colors, you want to begin this row with chain 2. And then you want to do a double crochet right into that same top of that chain. So that will count as 2 double crochets in that first chain. Now you're going to repeat that, doing 2 double crochets worked in each stitch all the way around. You're doubling your stitches this round. You're going from 12 to 24. So continue putting 2 double crochets all the way to the end, and I'll see you when you get up to the end of the round. Okay, I just got done with round 2. To end the round, you always want to slip stitch in the top of the beginning the beginning chain 2. Now I'm going to stick with this color. I'm going to be changing colors every 2 rounds. So for round 3, you want to start by chaining 2, and then working in the next stitch you want to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And then the next stitch, it's only going to be 1 double crochet. The next stitch will be 2, and you'll be alternating this pattern for the round. You'll be putting 2 double crochets in one stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next, then 2 in the next, and then 1 in the next. So you're going to continue that all the way around, and at the end of this round you should have 36 stitches. Okay, I just got done with round 3, and again you want to end your round by slip stitching in the top of the beginning chain 2. Now you should have 36 stitches, and if you're making a baby size beanie, then now's your time to stop. I would recommend changing your color now if you're doing that pattern, and continuing down to the hat portion of this video. Okay, this is for the baby hat, and we're going to start our actual stitches on it now. I wanted to go through this part with you because in order to get the stitch pattern to work out, you need to be in sets of 5, and we have 36 stitches, so we need to have some increases this round. So for this round, which is round 4 for you, you want to do a chain of 1. And then you want to have a half double crochet worked in this same stitch here. And then in the next stitch, actually you're only working in the back loops. With the first beginning chain, you're not really going to be able to choose what loop that you're in. But this next stitch you will be able to. So you did 1 half double crochet in the beginning stitch, and now in the second stitch you're going to be working in the back loop only. And you're going to work 2 half double crochets worked in that same stitch. And then again, working in the back loop only, you're going to work a half double crochet, 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So you should have chain 1 and a half double crochet worked in your chain. And then in the next stitch, back loop only. You're going to be working 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, and then in the next 2 stitches you'll be working half double crochets, which will give you 5 half double crochets in a row. And again, this whole round you're going to be alternating from now on. You'll be doing one whole round worked in back stitch, and then the next one will all be worked in front stitch. So you're going to be going back and forth, back and forth. So for this whole round you're going to be working in the back stitches. So the next 5 stitches you want to work a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You got 5 slip stitches, and then again you're going to repeat what you did here, which is you did 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, then you're going to put 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then you're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next, and then 1 half double crochet in the 5th one, final 5th one here. It'll give you 5 half double crochets. So you got half double crochet worked in the first, 2 half double crochets worked in the next, then half double crochet worked in the next 2 stitches. Count them, make sure you have 5 half double crochets total. Then you'll move on and you'll do your 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then again you will work the same half double crochets the same way. So you'll do 1 half double crochet, the next one you'll work 2 half double crochets in the stitch, and then the next 2 stitches will be half double crochet, which will give you 5 half double crochets. And then the next 5 stitches will be slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoops. Now the next will also be done the same way. Half double crochet worked in the next stitch, then 2 half double crochets worked in the next one, and then 1 half double crochet worked in the next 2 stitches. You'll repeat this for the whole round, and you should have the total amount that you need by the end. This is the last of the stitches. I'm doing my 5 slip stitches here to finish the round, and that should have given us a total of 40 stitches. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We have 40 stitches now, which is the even number that we need, because the set is done in sets of 5, actually sets of 10. It takes 10 stitches, so you really need to have sets of 10, multiples of 10. So now we have our multiples of 10, and now we're ready to begin the actual hat portion of this video. Now, if you're making the toddler or adult size, we need to keep going. So I'm going to grab my other color here, and I'm going to make sure it's not pulling from underneath. I want to just have it as loose as I can to where it's even up. I don't want any tugging of my little string underneath here. You don't want it pulling down because it's going to affect the hat. So when you make that slip stitch, you want to make sure that you're not having any tug, and you can do this once you've got it in there and pull it back down just to make sure you've got some looseness going. Okay, so now for round 4, you want to do a chain of 2 in the first stitch and a double crochet in the very next stitch. Your chain 2 counts as a double crochet, so you're going to have essentially 2 double crochets worked in 1 stitch. Then the next is the increase. You want to work 2 double crochets inside that stitch, and you're going to repeat this for the round. You're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to work a double crochet increase in the next stitch. So you want to continue that pattern of one double crochet, then double crochet increase all the way around, and when you get to the end of the row you should have 48 stitches. Okay, so I just got done with my my fourth row, and now if you're making a toddler hat, you're done increasing. And also if you're making a toddler hat, your colors will be a lot different, because you'd use your first two the same color than the next two, or if you're making it all the same, that's fine too. This is just for those who want to do it like this, but I have an extra row to go with my adult hat, so this is why I am not the same as you, but you will be starting your next row, start your next color. Okay, this is going to be the portion for the toddler hat that's going to teach you how to get your stitches in multiples of 10 so that you can continue on with the regular stitch pattern. So from now on, you're going to be alternating working in the back loop, and then the next row will be front loop. So you just got to remember, every row you'll be alternating front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. This one we're going to be going into the back loop. So to begin your first round, where you'll be doing your increases and flattening out your round and stitches, will be to do a chain of 1, and then work in the same chain stitches. The very first chain 2, you'll be working a half double crochet, and you can't really do front loop, back loop in this chain space, so just put a half double crochet in that first one. Now for the second one, we'll be working in our back loop only, and you're going to be working 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. So you got 2 half double crochets worked in this back loop only, and then the next stitch you're going to be working a half double crochet. I don't know why my yarn's getting all funky on me all of a sudden. Sorry, the next 2 stitches will be 1 half double crochet. So you have your chain 2 space at the your chain 1 that you did and your half double crochet worked within the same stitch. Then the next stitch, working in the back loop only, you have 2 half double crochets, and then you have 1 half double crochet worked in the next 2 stitches. Again, back loop only for this whole round. So for the next 5 stitches, you're going to be working a slip stitch. So 1, again, back loop only, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the next stitch you're going to be working a half double crochet. You're going to be repeating what we did at the beginning. So the first one will be 1 half double crochet. The next stitch you'll work 2 half double crochets, and then in the next 2 stitches you'll work 1 half double crochet. Okay, after you have your set of half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and then 1 half double crochet worked in the next stitch, you've now done the 2 increases that you need for this row. So from now on, you're going to be working the row as normal. So like the next 5 stitches will be a slip stitch. You'll be alternating doing 5 slip stitches, and then you'll be doing 5 half double crochets. And that's how you'll be working your row from now on. 5 half double crochets, 5 slip stitches. So you want to continue this all the way around. You should have 50 stitches at the end. So for the adults, I'm going to continue on. So after round 4, you're going to slip stitch in the beginning chain 2, and then for round 5 you're going to do a chain 2. Then you're going to work a double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and the chain 2 counts as a stitch, so you essentially have 1 double crochet worked in the first 3 stitches. Now the next stitch you will be putting 2 double crochets in the same stitch for your increase. Now the next 3 stitches you will be working 1 double crochet in these next 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then you're going to be working your increase of 2 double crochets worked in the same stitch. So you want to continue that all the way around, putting your 1 double crochet worked in the next 3 stitches and then your increase. So continue that all the way around, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, we're done with our 5th round of increases. So we're done increasing for the adult size hat now. And unlike the other sizes, you won't need to make the stitches an equal 10 because it is already 60 stitches. So we're going to switch colors to our lighter color. And now you're going to be alternating using the front loop and back loop. This round we're going to be doing the back loop only. So what you want to do is chain 1 and work in the same chain 2 here. You're going to work a half double crochet. Now working in the back loops only for the next 4 stitches, we're going to be putting a half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have our 5 half double crochets in a row. Again, you're going to be working in the back loop this whole round, sorry. So for the next 5 stitches, we're going to be working the slip stitch in the back loop only. So I have my 5 slip stitches, and now you're going to repeat this for the entire round. You're going to be working 5 half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you'll be working your 5 slip stitches. And you're going to continue this all the way around, and when you get back up to the front, to the beginning stitch, I'll see you back here. Okay, so this is the part where the hat becomes pretty much the same for all sizes. You want to start working in one continuous row. First off, you're going to be working in one continuous round now. So you want to mark your beginning stitch. And I'm marking this first half double crochet. I'm not marking the chain. We're going to be working in our half double crochet now and not our chain. So what you're going to do is now you're going to be working in the front stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 here just to bring me up a little bit. And I'm going to work a half double crochet in the front loop only of my first half double crochet of the round. Actually, I think that's too big of a space. I'm not going to do a chain 1 after all. I think I'll mark that off the pattern too. Okay, so I'm just going to yarn over, go into my front loop of my very first half double crochet of the round, and I'm going to do my half double crochet. Then I'm going to work half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. This whole round you're going to be working in the front loop only. 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Okay, in the next 5 stitches I'm going to be doing a slip stitch where my slip stitches are. Again, front loop only. Going to be alternating from now on. You're going to do 1 whole row front loop only, and the next whole row you'll be doing back loop only. So now I'm going to do my next set of 5 half double crochets, and then you will do your set of 5 slip stitches, and you're going to be doing this for the whole round. 5 half double crochets worked in the front loop, and then 5 slip stitches worked in the front loop. 4, 5. So continue that all the way around and I'll see you when you get back up to the stitch marker. Okay, I just reached back up to my stitch marker, and I know that it's the last stitch of the round that I just did because I can already see my double half double crochet rows, because you're only going to be having 2 half double crochet rows before you start changing over to now slip stitching on top of the half double crochets and half double crocheting on the slip stitch row. So now that we've got our 2 rows in this color, I'm going to switch over and grab my darker color again and bring it up. And then I'm just going to continue to work in one continuous row. Now I worked in my front loops last time, so I'm going to be working in my back loops this time. And now since we have our 2 rows of half double crochets, I'm going to be doing slip stitches over them. So I'm going to be working in my back loop only and doing 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now in my back loops only, I'm going to be doing my 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again your 5 slip stitches. And you're going to be repeating this pattern all the way around. Make sure you keep track of the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, now this is going to be double half double crochets, and this you're going to continue the pattern all the way around. So go ahead and continue this pattern all the way around, and when you get to your stitch marker, I'll see you back here. Okay, I made it to the end of my row. It's pretty easy to see end of the row when you switch colors. So this is makes it a good time to move your marker up somewhere under it. Okay, so we just worked in our back stitches, our back loop, sorry. So this is a row where we're going to repeat the previous row. So we're going to be doing the same exact row, 5 slip stitches, 5 half double crochets, only we're going to be working in the front loop this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 slip stitches, and then the next 5 will be half double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I want to do the next 5 slip stitches because I want to show you what this looks like. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, as you can see now, you have your next set. And you're going to be repeating these rows. Like next row, you're going to be working in the back loop again, working slip stitches over where you did your half double crochets, because you only do 2 half double crochets rows in a row. So you're going to continue to do that. Now for the baby size, you're going to be doing a total, and I'm counting these 2 half double crochets. It's easier to do that. I have my first 2 half double crochet rows here as part of my wave stitch, so I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I did this for a total until I had 12 wave stitch rows, and then I started my border. For the toddler, it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 rows of the wave stitch before I started my rim. So I'm going to go ahead and do 16 total rows also for the adult hat too, because it fit me just fine, except for, I mean, it came down just fine on me when I put this on, but it was a bit tight. So definitely not big enough around, but it did come down. I think it's going to be about the right size. But the great thing about this is I'm only going to show you how to get it to single crocheting all the way around. And then you can decide whether you want to add 2 or 3 or even more rows if you want to make it fit good for you. But I'm thinking it's going to be just fine the way it is. So again, if you're making adult size or child size, do your wave stitch until you have a total of 16 rows, counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that way, count that way. And the baby, do it until you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 rows. So once you've got your wave stitch done for the all your wave stitch rows done for the size that you're going for, come back and I will show you how to do the rim of the hat. Okay, so for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to do the rim of the hat. I'm just going to pretend I have all my rows done and I'm ready to switch. So I did my last half double crochet here and I've reached my marker. So I know that these next 5 I need to change colors and start my next row. So I'm going to switch colors, but instead for the rim, instead of continuing on to start to do your 5 half double crochets and your 5 slip stitches, we want to kind of even this out, because as you can see it's kind of like a wave. So we're trying to even out the wave. So when you're ready to do your brim of your hat, where you have slip stitches, where you have your slip stitches, you want to do single crochets. And where you have your half double crochets, you want to work your slip stitches. So in case you end up where you're beginning here with half double crochets, then just begin the row with slip stitches and then continue on with the single crochet. So the very first row of the rim, you want to go ahead and do it in the back loop only. So I'm going to do my first 5 single crochets using the back loop only. And this will be the only row where you need to do the back loop or front loop. From now on, you'll only be doing in both loops. So this is the last round that you'll have to worry about that. So I did my 5 single crochets worked in my slip stitches, and then now when I come to my half double crochets, I'm going to be working a slip stitch over the top. And my back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then I'll do my single crochets, my 5 single crochets in the next stitch. So I have 4. I ended up with 4. Oh, 3. No, 4. Sorry, I'm losing count here as I'm thinking and crocheting at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. Got my 5 single crochets, and then I'll do my 5 slip stitches. But what I want to show you is see how it's evening it out. So you want to continue to do that all the way around until you get back up to the top. Okay, I just got done with my very first row, and as you can see, it's kind of flatten out all the way around, and now you're good to go to make your single crochet rows. From now on, you do not have to, you can even cut this extra color now if you want, leave a tail so you can work it in, and you'll be working under both loops of the stitch, and you'll be just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Now I did mine for 2 rows, so I did this row and 1 more, just single crochets, but you can add more if you feel like you need it, and that's it. That's up to your discretion. And that is it. That is how you make the wave stitch beanie. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that like button for me and share the video. It helps me so very much. And if you haven't got a chance to subscribe yet, or you're a first-time watcher, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so very much for all the support on my videos. I really appreciate it. You can also find me in lots of social media. You can find the links down in the description box, as well as a link to the pattern. Again, thanks so much for watching.